Let's talk about hair.
Yeah.
I'm a weave-on kind of girl. I love weave-ons, but there are times when you have it on for too long, you can tell. You don't even need to know. Once the woman walks through the door, you can smell it from a mile off that her hair isn't very clean. So
she's been there for too long.
It's been on for too long. What's a good time to keep your weave-on on?
Okay, now before we jump onto the weave-on talk or hair hygiene as an aspect of personal hygiene, let's tell our audience members or people watching us at home that do not be afraid to tell a loved one or a friend that he's got a bad breath or she's got a bad breath. Okay. The thing is your manner of approach and the person's personality. If you cannot do it yourself, then get a friend that he or she listens to do it for you. Okay. And then when you go to tell this person, go with products that the person can use immediately to try to combat the bad odor or the halitosis or the mouth odor. Okay. And also find out if the person's got a loose teeth or a loose tooth, because most times when you're going through, dental issues, the breath smells double bad, triple bad, quadruple bad. It's terrible. So if the person has got issues with their teeth or their dentition, then they need to go see a dentist. If that is not the case and it's just bad breath that you've noticed for quite a while, then use what we've just talked about: breath freshener, mouthwash, good toothpaste, the right kind of toothbrush. And do it.
And brush twice daily.
Even more than that.
Can ill health cause that?
Of course. Okay. Haven't you noticed that when you have malaria and you say something to someone, the person may even just go do like that? Yeah. Because the body is not in a normal state. Hormones are raging, the disease is raging, the white blood cells are fighting. Yeah. And so everything will come out. Even the way the person smells too. Even if you've had a bath, you still smell thick. There's a smell that people who are ill have. Yeah, sure. You haven't noticed that?
Yeah.
Yes.
The mommy in me wants to jump in here and say, I have 3-year-olds that just don't really like brushing their teeth.
Normal.
Is there anything I can use
this is
to encourage them? Once they see me, they're like,
That is why they have these beautiful, attractive toothbrushes and toothpaste and little buckets, little balers to scoop water from, and the little thing that they used to keep their toothbrush. Everything is just nice and beautiful. Even the taste of the toothpaste is like something you want to eat. Yeah. So all of this is to entice them to maintain or to begin and maintain good oral hygiene from that age. All right, so let's go to hair. The thing with hair is this: you need to know your hair type, your scalp type,
and your skin type.
Yeah, very necessary.
Are you a sweaty person? Do you have a
dry skin?
Dry skin, oily skin, medium, kind of in between oil and dry? Do you have dandruff? What kind of hair? What kind of scalp do you have? Is it easily irritable? Does it get dandruffy or easily? Does it get dirty easily? Does it retain sweat? And then what kind of lifestyle do you have? Are you someone who is active in the gym or who has an active job where you need to move all the time under the sun, sweating, doing one thing or the other? Now, you do not expect a farmer to put a weave on in there and go to the farm. But if you do, and you go to the farm at the crack of dawn, and you're there 12 midday, 1, 2 p.m., somebody will not tell you to grab that thing and pull it off. Okay? So what kind of lifestyle do you have? Are you active? What kind of skin type do you have? And then what kind of weave-on do you put in there? Do you put a human hair? Do you put a synthetic one? Because all of these react differently to skin types and to environmental conditions.
But is there a difference between
how long should you keep your weave-on for?
Yeah.
It depends on what we have just talked about, your lifestyle, your skin type. Like we had a conversation just before we came back on of someone who's active in the gym, who loves to go and work out. And when you go and work out, you must sweat.
Of course.
Except you're like a few people, like one of a friend of mine. She can walk from here to Sokoto and she doesn't break out. It's not a drop.
I rarely sweat, but I've come to realize it's not necessarily a good thing.
She can walk from Abuja to Sokoto and she will not break out. Not even a drop. There are people like that. It's a medical condition, but people are enjoying it. If I were like that, I'll be quite happy. I hate to sweat. When I sweat, I don't have any sense anymore. I'm so irritable, don't even talk to me. Okay, so if you're like people like that, then you cannot have a weave-on on. That is why I say kudos to all of us wig-wearing sisters, because you have the choice of just, when you walk out of this show, you put your hand in the middle of your head and you yank it off.
Is this a wig or a wig?
This is a wig.
Oh, really?
And it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't look like one.
And it's sitting so nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Just walk out of here. put your hand in the middle and yank it off.
There are some wigs that you see and you're like, oh no.
What is this?
What is this?
Do you have birds living in there?
You know, it just looks
Of recent, some guys we had a conversation with some guys and they were like, at work, it's like a torture because some of the ladies, when they just pass you by and they're talking to you, and someone even complained about his wife that she puts this weave on for like 6 weeks or even longer, and she sweats profusely during the day, and it affects him because he feels like, do you really need that weave on?
I really hope he has had this conversation with her.
He should have it with her,
outside.
exactly, because
I'm sure he didn't.
No,
If
you
he
know
had,
what?
if he
Let me
had,
ask
she
us
would
a
have.
question. Ladies, let me ask a question. Why is it difficult for us to talk to our spouses or
It's not
to our
difficult for
loved
me.
ones? A lot of women cannot open up. A lot of men cannot open up. They'll rather go talk to someone outside.
And that's
Yeah.
really
That
nasty.
is so wrong.
That's really
Because
nasty.
whether you're a Muslim or a Christian, the first thing that the people who are at your wedding will tell you, that is the officiating ministers will tell you, is
Keep things between yourself.
keep things between yourself.
Yeah.
You are the husband and she is the wife.
Communicate.
Communication is key.
You must communicate.
Don't work on
And they are not
assumptions.
talking about communicating of when the lights are out.
Well, I'm going out. I'm going to work.
Not even that
No,
one.
when the lights
But
are out.
When the lights are
Okay.
out, communication. Well, that's not what we're talking about. That is basic. We're talking about basic occurrences in the house.
And I think this kind of conversation actually makes the bond stronger.
Of course, because if you can tell your
And you tend to respect your like each other, because I wouldn't want my husband to go and tell someone, a colleague or a
Well,
friend,
at
something
least I
about me.
understand what she's going through. That's not a nice husband.
Exactly.
Even
not
if he had
nice.
that conversation with her, there was no need taking it outside.
outside. I mean, this is
Maybe he was looking for an advice.
was
Maybe
no
he
need.
did. You
So,
know,
yeah,
you
or
could
how
just
to-
give him
No,
benefit
no,
of
Some
doubt.
things are off
See,
limits.
hair to tell
What if
someone
she's the
about
person
their
that
hair.
doesn't understand? Even when he tells her and she starts,
It's not a conversation he should have had with you, for instance.
See,
Except you're related to.
let's be realistic.
No.
I had a conversation sometime in February with a brother-in-law. He was talking on the phone with my husband, video chatting. I was in the kitchen about 11:30 p.m. trying to fix the stuff for the kids the next day, so it's easy to get them up and off to school. And he was like, Jennifer, this is your hair. I said, this is my hair. What you do my hair? I was with you in the States last year for like 12 weeks, and this was the hair I had on there. This coily bits,
curly.
really nice and all of that. The last time I was here, a colleague of yours had it here and she was like, she just removed this weave on it. She really likes it, it's really nice. Nothing wrong with the hair. But he's saying to me that natural hair is better. Okay, so how long should your weave on be? How long should you take your weave on?
The minute
Carry your weave on.
The minute
on.
I can smell anything at all, no matter how faint coming out of my hair, I take it off.
Okay.
That's why I tend to favor braids, although it's really painful. And this kind of I have a tender scalp.
Okay.
So if I braid my hair, that's it. No sleep for like 2 nights. Yeah, that's why shaving my hair off doesn't take me 2 minutes.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, no.
Okay.
So, but because of all the wahala and palava that goes into doing it, I try to keep it simple and so on and so forth. But the minute I can smell anything at all,
Yeah.
I take it off.
Okay,
So,
let's-
when I go to braid my hair and I'm like, no, I hardly carry hair for more than 2 or 3 weeks. Don't put the effort of God into it like I'm going to carry it for 6 months.
Exactly.
So
You know,
don't worry.
sometimes
If 1 or 2 strands fall out, it's okay. Don't do the thing where I cannot sleep for like 9 weeks.
Okay.
Don't.
I see what you mean.
Sometimes they complain, do you know how much I did this year? And, I have to do it. I have
was
to
going
remove
to
it
say
after
that.
like a
No,
week or
no.
two.
To be-
Sometimes
there's
it's the
some women
financial,
abroad,
the
there's
financial
some women abroad that
impact.
spend close to 80 to 100 pounds to fix a basic weave on. Something that here in Nigeria is so much cheaper.
Cheaper,
Yeah.
yes.
So, I mean, by the time you cough up 80 pounds to fix hair, I mean, I will keep that hair for
But can
as
you
long as-
take care of the weave on? Let's say if you're trying to
I
have
can
it for
clean it.
6
I can
weeks.
use some sprays.
Can you clean it with it
nice
under
smelling
your hair?
sprays,
Yes,
coconut
they
oil
have,
spray
yes,
to
they have,
freshen it up.
they have hair care products
Okay.
that make it smell nice and even last longer.
Can you wash it?
Yes, you can.
What of the gum? The gummy part, does it affect it?
The
Because
thing-
I don't do weave-on, so I'm trying
The
to...
thing with weave-on is you do not always have to use the adhesive.
Yeah.
You use
most times you
the
braid
thread.
it and
Okay,
then
okay,
You
the
use the
tray.
thread and needle.
Okay,
ones,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
They are so good now the way they do these things.
Okay.
You can't tell
Okay.
if it's a wig, if it's a weave-on.
Okay.
Adhesives are not in vogue anymore.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so there's a way they fix it onto your scalp,
Yeah.
and then they move it this other way. You use a brush, you brush it down,
Okay.
you have a part, and it looks good.
Okay.
Okay. Now, but the thing with the weave-on is you cannot wash the synthetic weave-on and expect it to bounce back.
yeah.
That's the rubber type,
The
yeah?
rubber type.
Oh, that's
You-
the one that
You
smells
wash
horrible.
the synthetic weave-on,
I'm telling
it
you.
doesn't bounce back. It looks like rat's tails, like that.
So it's the human hair that survives.
The human
that.
hair survives,
And it's
better.
very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Not
but
everybody can afford that.
The thing with maintaining your hair is this: if you can afford the synthetic ones, they are not too expensive.
Yeah, they're quite cheap.
They are quite cheap, and because they are quite cheap,
You can change
you
it.
can change them as often as you as you want. You can change them as often as you want. Okay. Now, let's go back to our wigs. For people who have active lifestyles that swim and run and walk and power walk and all
walking.
of that,
That's a
just
better option.
stick to
Wigs.
the wigs.
That would be me, the power walking person.
Is that a wig?
That's
It's a wig.
Are
a
you
beautiful
serious?
wig she's
Oh
wearing.
my.
I've got twins.
Yeah,
I've
and it
got
sits
toddlers
perfectly.
running up and down in the house. I
it's
can't
a-
sit down for 4
Yeah, when I
hours.
saw it, I
can't.
was like,
It's beautiful.
But if you're running after them, does it come off?
no, I said at home, she
You,
takes it.
you- when I'm home,
you have the,
just pack it into a bun.
what's it called? The bands.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
secure.
Yeah,
that's
you have a
secure.
secure band. So you put it on, you secure the bands.
And you know the one I like most recently now that I see is the one with the million braids. Because sometimes I'll be like, how do you sit and do this for like
No,
10
they
hours?
tell you it's a wig.
Yeah,
I
and
think
then
life
they'll be
has
like,
gotten
it's a
easier
wig.
than
And
that.
you're like,
Yes,
oh,
that's
we're
the thing.
evolving
So
actually.
if-
And that
if
makes it better.
ladies out there, if you do not have a wig and you think it's expensive, do your research. Do your research. I will tell you what I found out yesterday. Someone said to me, if you give me 30,000, okay, the first shop was like 45,000. I'll make you this. I was admiring this beautiful million, braids on a wig. They were still doing it. 40,000. I said, oh, that's nice, really nice. And I said to myself, I know what I can do with 40,000. I can easily give it to them. But for that, no.
Yeah.
So some other shop, like 2-3 weeks later, the person said 25,000. Yesterday, I saw a young lady with this beautiful wig, $1 million braids. How much was her wig? 10,000 naira.
I'm sure you went for
10,000
it.
naira.
It's really an investment.
Of
a
course.
lifetime
But maybe
because
there
you
could
use
be
it
a
over
difference,
and
the
over.
texture,
No.
the quality.
That's where you are going.
It's where you go.
Oh, the
If
packaging.
if you go to Maitama,
packaging, the
50,000.
packaging.
You go to Gariki, 25.
Wuse
You go to
Market.
Wuse, 30.
But do you blame them? Sometimes if you sell we have the same product. I sell it for 10,000. You sell it for 25,000.
They
People
will
will
buy.
say mine is fake.
It's fake, exactly.
well,
It's the
there's that,
mentality,
there's that.
especially
Exactly.
here.
Yeah,
Now
true.
let's bring it down to medicine. An organization where I used to work, we offer family planning services. Because these family planning services come from the United Nations, one of the United Nations subsidiaries,
subsidized or
it's
hosted.
highly subsidized. Now, for the injectables that last every 3 months, it's 50 naira a shot.
Wow.
So 200 naira a year.
Oh, wow.
For the implants is
Yeah.
800 naira for the one that lasts for 3 years and 1,000 naira for the one that lasts for 5 years. Do you know that in 2 or 3 private hospitals here in Abuja, the implant is going for 85,000 naira?
No way.
Of
The other
course.
hospital is giving it for
I'm not even
150,000.
To be
surprised.
the exact same product or
Yeah.
The exact
or
I'm not
kind
even
of like
surprised.
Sweetheart, the exact same products that were bought from us and taken to this private
But
hospital.
why do you sell it to them?
What are you going to keep them doing? They're going to expire.
You
Yes,
go out
we
and
did
reach out to
not-
people
We
that
did not
believe.
know. We did not
I'm
know
telling
that.
you.
We did not know that was the price that we're going to sell it for.
Oh my
We
God.
just found out incidentally.
You should
Or
stop.
accidentally.
Oh God, that's
85.
bad.
And people will tell you your own is not good.
no way.
Yeah, the one given for 800.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not good.
I'm
Meanwhile,
telling you.
we are getting it directly from
Directly
United
from
Nations
it, yeah.
subsidiary.
Subsidized.
And they are coming to get it from us to their own posh hospitals, private hospitals, and they're giving it to these people at an alarming amount.
And they will be the same
That's
people that will
heartbreaking.
tell the person
It
that
is.
I went to this place and they give me and they say, you say it's fake.
Fake.
And they got it from you.
Yes.
Our attitude is actually
We're
very,
di-
very bad. We're very selfish.
We are digressing though.
Yes. So now we have talked about, okay, let's say how long your hair stays depends on your lifestyle.
Now
please,
let's
ladies,
talk about men.
Yes.
Before we get to men,
ladies,
please,
do not
for
keep
those
your
of
weave on
us
for too long.
For those of us that don't do wigs and weave on, how
Yes.
do you take care of your hair?
Oh, if you have natural hair.
Yeah.
If you have natural hair,
It could
I love natural hair.
That's the
It could
easiest
be
thing to look after
not
is
natural
the
hair, like
Yes.
I relax my hair,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah, but
and
it's
then
natural hair
yeah, but
because
I
you don't
don't
have
do
anything
because of my
synthetic.
religious belief. I
Yes.
don't do wig, I don't do attachments, I
Okay.
don't do
Yes.
weave on.
It's easy to maintain, sweetheart.
Exactly.
Every 6 to 12 weeks, you retouch the undergrowth. Now, after the first retouch, 7 to 10 days, you wash again to remove any residue of the relaxer, the ingredient. Then after that, you wash like every 3 to 4 weeks to make it clean and shiny.
Yeah. So we're out of time. So if you could just use a minute to tell our viewers
Okay.
some advice on keeping clean, on personal hygiene.
Personal hygiene is very key to maintaining a healthy lifestyle, preventing pandemics and epidemics. Like right now, one of the key or the leading personal hygiene principles that we are to maintain, imbibe, maintain and sustain, hand washing.
Yeah.
Hand washing, because it's as if we're going back to the Ebola era
Yeah.
because of this
Monkeypox.
monkeypox.
Oh, yes,
So
yes, of
hand
course.
washing with soap and water, and not just wash in a few seconds. Wash until you probably finish
Wash
singing
through.
happy
ABCs
birthday.
Wash through, yeah.
You wash, really wash, and make sure it's dry. You can air dry. You can use, if you're in a place where they have the, automatic dryer, you dry. You can use the sanitary towel, what's it called, napkins to
Yeah,
dry.
napkins,
The
dry
disposable,
napkins.
the disposable ones. If you use the reusable ones, wash and dump. Don't keep for someone else to wash, to use, especially if in the public.
Yes.
And the sanitizers, are you supposed to use them often? Because sometimes you could use a hand sanitizer and then take something to, use your hand to eat with it.
Yes, that's
Yes.
true.
See, the
And
thing
they
is,
have some
the thing
chemicals
is,
in it.
The thing is, like they teach them in school, wash your hands before you eat and all of that. So I say to them, wash your hands before you eat, wash your hands after you eat, wash your hands after you take a dump. You do number 1, number 2. Okay? Now, when you finish doing that, you make sure that the next person who is coming to do the same thing, you advise the person to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, for men out there, manscaping is very important. Manscaping is not only shaving your hair and giving yourself a good, because they say, cut your hair and lose some weight and all of that. You do your manscaping from your head to your chin, to the sideburns, to your armpits, to down there. It drives me crazy when I see men with hair under their pits. I don't know what they think it is for some. Even when you go
I
through
heard in
the
some-
Vogue magazine and all of that, you
I
see
heard in
them
some
all.
Western cultures, when a man shaves there, he's considered gay.
He's considered gay.
Are you
Exactly.
serious?
I'm like, no,
Homosexuals,
we sweat too much here.
because
Don't do that.
homosexuals are extremely clean people.
Yeah.
Very clean people.
Yeah.
You won't find them with
Annoyingly
hair.
clean.
So they distinguish themselves from being a gay, a
Okay.
gay person.
I see.
They don't shave. But the thing with people over there is that their weather is temperate.
They have winter.
And they have a lot of products to make them smell good.
Yeah.
And they use it. And now one last bit of advice before we go. Ladies, when you have a new domestic staff come into your house, into your home, we all notice that 98% of them come with body odor. So what I do, I buy them a set of
Toiletries.
antiperspirant, include that give them a toilet bag with antiperspirant
And
in there,
educate them on how to
antiseptic
use it.
soap, sponge, a cheap perfume that they can afford, and educate them on how
to use
use it.
You know, this only works if you have that kind of husband she was talking about, right?
And for me that I'm
But you know, sometimes
by
all those
obligation,
do not
I
work
am
because
not
she comes
employing
with
you
a
if you're
body
not even a little bit
odor. So how
dirty.
do you do that?
No.
How do you do that?
She
Okay,
comes to the
we
body
have to
odor.
round
She
up,
needs
Dr.
to have
B.
about 3 times a day and use those
Sometimes
products.
it's advisable to use lemon, especially under the armpits.
Yes.
Lemon and salt.
But you know the thing
It kills the...
Well, I don't know if there's a cure for body odor, but you just need
I
to.
think there is.
No,
There
there's
is.
no
There
cure.
has to be.
There's
No,
no cure.
there
You
has to be.
you
There
you
has to
minimize
be.
minimize it.
Minimize
And
then with time
body
it
odor.
goes.
minimize the smells.
Minimize the smell.
With time it goes,
With
or
perfumes.
it's still there.
It's still there, but it's not as bad because I have a staff who has been with us for quite a bit, and I gave him all of that. And when he came and now, you will notice the difference.
Thank you, Dr. B, for all the help and all the
you
advice
so
on
much.
personal hygiene. The conversation continues with you. All our social media platforms are there, available on the screen. We would like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on personal hygiene? What works for you? My name is Nikki. I'll be signing off with my sisters.
Yes, the name is Mom. Divan, Mom.
Rekiva.
And Dr. B, like I've been, talking here, and glad to know you guys today. And see you next time. Okay.